In this story, I make a pilgrimage to the Bwindi Impenetrable Forest. I'm Joanne Green.
Something tells me it's all happening at the zoo.
If you can't travel to Africa, seeing African animals in cages, or even those sensitively engineered habitats in zoos and wild animal parks, is second best. However, gazing at a family of elephants ambling down to the river for a drink, marveling at a pride of lion feasting on a baby giraffe carcass, needing an armed guard to escort you to your room because a hippopotamus is grazing just outside, these are experiences that have the potential to alter the way we see ourselves. Unparalleled, for instance, are the sound, the sight, and the vibration of chimpanzees screaming and leaping from tree to tree overhead. We chose Uganda as the destination for my 65th birthday trip because it is one of two places in the world today where it's safe to see mountain gorillas in their natural habitat, Uganda and Rwanda. Uganda won out because it's also home to the 100-year-old Abayudaya Jewish tribe, and the opportunity to spend a Sabbath with that community was too good to miss. My first sojourn to Africa in 2003 was to Kenya. Seared into my memory were the stark African savanna landscapes, the warmth and trusting nature of the Africans whom we met, the birds of countless species, and of course the big mammals, elephants, hippos, lion, leopard, zebra, giraffe, and so much more. We were introduced to dik-diks, small antelope that mate for life. And then there's the image of one lone cheetah I can't forget, standing on a mound in the middle of a vast expanse, hunting for prey. Prior to ascending to Bwindi, we visited other game reserves in Uganda, including Kibale National Park, home to 1,500 chimpanzees. We trekked through the jungle for hours before catching sight of one lone chimp high up on a tree branch. An hour later, we were treated to a shrewdness, the proper term for a chimp group, tearing through the branches at warp speed and running by us on the ground so quickly that our smartphone cameras couldn't keep up. Our bag lunches included bananas. Our guide didn't think it was funny when I offered to share mine.
Can you hear that? I have a banana. I'll save it for you.
Then we rode the nearly 8 hours on sometimes paved roads to the Bwindi Impenetrable Forest, so named because of the extensive bamboo and thick ground cover of ferns and vines that make foot travel a serious challenge. This large primeval forest in southwestern Uganda is one of the most biologically diverse places on Earth. Half the world's mountain gorillas live there and have been protected from poachers and the loss of their habitat since 1991. Each day, trekkers who pre-purchase $700 permits are led into the forest by experienced guide teams, a local equipped with a machete to cut down brush, and another who carries a gun, which may be used to scare an elephant or other threat. Porters can also be hired to assist trekkers. These funds support both the local population and the maintenance of the park. As we entered the national forest, a hush came over our small group of intrepid travelers. It was understood that we were entering onto sacred ground and were about to share a unique experience that few human beings have. Some groups trek for hours through the dense brush. We were fortunate to encounter our first gorilla troop within 30 minutes. Our eyes grew wide as we watched an adult male lying on his back, casually chomping on some greenery. He knew we were there, watching, but was unfazed, accustomed to small groups of humans parading by, led by guides whom he and the other gorillas have come to know. Soon, he was joined by a few younger, smaller gorillas, and then a mama arrived carrying her baby. We were so close, perhaps just 10 feet away, and our guide instructed us to remain still if a baby or young gorilla came up to us. We remained as quiet as possible, as the sounds made by the gorillas, those of our deep, shaky inhales and exhales, and the clicking of our cameras filled the air. The rule is that visitors get 1 hour with the gorillas once the first one is spotted to minimize the impact of these visits on the wildlife. We know that time is a matter of perception, that it seems to speed up or slow down depending upon what's happening and our emotional state. This, without question, was the fastest hour of my life. What a privilege to be with these enormous, gentle creatures and be able to watch them live their lives. On the holiness scale, it's right up there with witnessing a miracle. I felt an unprecedented sense of presence, a rootedness, a reverence for life, and the deepest gratitude. And while my heart was expanding beyond its limits, I was also filled with a sense of how small and insignificant I am. Just one human in the arc of the universe, the planet on which we live, and well beyond. The sounds and the images of our time in the Bwindi Impenetrable Forest remain ever present in my consciousness, and I know that I am more compassionate, more attuned to life, and above all, more appreciative of awe, having dwelled even for just 1 hour with these great apes. If you enjoy the memoir-style micro-essays that I read on In This Story, please consider checking out my full-length book entitled By Accident, A Memoir of Letting Go. It's now available for sale on Amazon and Audible as a paperback, audiobook, or ebook. You can also order a copy through your favorite independent bookseller, which could use your support. Speaking of which, thanks so much for your support. Again, the title is By Accident, A Memoir of Letting Go by yours truly, Joanne Green.